Do you realize how much energy you are capable of manipulating within your own body, within your external environment, and not necessarily manipulating, but influence other people? There's, when you go into meditation and start learning energies and the chakras, there is a very specific switch of feeling like a 3D normal person. Like, hey, normal person, don't believe in energy or spirit, right? Just out here living everyday life. And then there's a moment where I can pause and I can tune my intention inwards and I can create swirls of energy where I desire them to, with the intentions that I desire them to. And when I'm around certain people, apparently they can feel that also. Been experimenting a lot, but I mean, it's fact, right? Energy is what we are, and it is fact. A lot of us are so busy and have so much noise and so distracted. Not that distractions are bad, because busy and building and creating, being productive is good, that we don't take the time to slow down to feel that energy. And as I begin to get more active, and it's fall, should not be getting, fall is like the last burst of energy, right? So it's actually very wonderful weather here, and I did nothing but hike all weekend, so my face has a little bit more sun, and I missed out on a couple of videos, but I had an amazing time fulfilling my soul, and it was beautiful. But I noticed the moments that I did sit there. It's like, wow, yeah, I miss my energy. It's, you have to take the time to pause to feel your energy, and nature helps with that, because in nature you tend to just sit and stare. And if you were to just close your eyes for a moment in nature, maybe that's your homework. I've been giving daily homework tasks on these videos, I guess, apparently. So daily homework, go into nature, sit and stare for a moment until you can feel your heart rate be calm and your mind be clear. And then if you feel safe enough to, close your eyes. Just internally bring your awareness to your inner belly and see what happens. Just see what happens. So if you haven't watched this channel before, this channel is Awaken with Debb, and my name's Deborah Kaye. We awaken to the awareness of who we are. We're getting to accept the core truth of our essence. What does that even mean? Are those just buzzwords? The truth of our essence is, when we are born, we're very much born into the families that we are meant to be born in, for the experiences that we signed up for to become who we are. Right? Like, as a child, we don't have a choice of our situation. I really do believe that all of that is, for the most part, preordained. And of course, it depends on the journeys of the people that we are placed in caretaking with. But there comes a time where we take over responsibility for what we've been through. And we get to uncover the layers of what was really in the recipe that made us who we are. And we get to be the chef of our own spiritual progression, our own personality progression, our own who are we to ourselves, and who are we to others, who are we to community, who are we to family. Is family blood, or is family chosen family? Family is a very touchy subject for so many people, myself included. And I think these last several generations, we learned a lot of lessons that previous generations didn't get to learn, didn't have to learn, weren't burdened with learning, but they were burdened with their own moments of learning. The special trick about now is that we have the ability to instantly share information worldwide with others, to collaborate with an understanding. Because I feel like one of the worst feelings is feeling like nobody understands you. Nobody understands where you're coming from. Nobody understands where you want to go. Nobody understands where you're at. I'm here to tell you that in this world of billions of people, there are people out there. And that's where the switch of mindset comes in. It's where the faith of God comes in. God will connect you to the right people, but you have to be open to it. You have to be open to meeting others. You have to take away layers of criticism. You have to take layers of shame and vulnerability away. As you step into the trueness of you are, and as I say that, I'm like, oh yeah, my spine. You really do begin to feel the connection with the flow of consciousness and how the order of everything works. And life really truly does become magical. I know you've heard it before, and I'm just here to tell you again, as you align to your inner self, life just works. And even when it doesn't, it does. It's amazing. It's a very peaceful way of being. And I do these videos to invite you to the journey of understanding this peaceful way of being. I see a lot of people struggle out there, and it breaks my heart. And if I don't know what these videos are doing out there in the world, but I know if I wasn't doing them, I feel really yucky on the days that I don't get to do them. And I know if I were to think about quitting, I would feel even yuckier, because in where I'm at right now, I feel very secluded, I guess you will say, very recluse at the moment. And the way that I am able to give back to community is in a shifting stage. So as I determine how to be able to give back locally within my personal community, I'm practicing here with people all over the world, knowing that God is not only giving these videos, placing them in front of people that they will resonate with. And also, that's just science. You can't watch what you don't resonate with, or that you're not ready to have a seed planted for. But it's also allowing me to practice kind of my own method of like talk therapy, right? So that I can really dive in to how to explain these operations of reality. Who am I to explain the operations of reality? Well, I am a soul that is older than these lifetimes. I do feel the connection between the dimensions and the past lives and the alternate realities. And there's a lot. Anything that you can imagine is actually real. With that, keep your thoughts clean and clear. It's been suggested one time about changing the location of the videos. Over the years, I've done videos in many locations. Overall, if I do it anywhere else here, too much noise, too much distractions, unable to connect to spirit, unless I'm in nature. But a lot of times that's too noisy and I don't have yeah. Also, I realized this is Awaken with Debb. Someone said, wake up with Debb the other day. And as I sat down on my bed, I felt how appropriate it is that these videos come from the bed, because that's where awakening happens. It's where you wake up for the day. It's where you set the intentions before you even step out of bed for the day. It's where you fall asleep with the images of the reality that you're going to create going forward. That's homework number 2 for you. Pay attention to what you're thinking about before you go to bed. And if you have a hard time thinking about what you want to think about before going to bed, pull up a YouTube video that is something that is good for your progression or alignment of your soul. And I threw in alignment after the word progression because I don't want you to think that we always need to be striving to be better. We don't always need to be healing and fixing. Healing and fixing, very much so, is a billion-dollar industry trap. But we do need to experience, and we do need to be aware, and we do need to witness and intentionally be aware that we are that we are creating life, whether intentionally or unintentionally. Our thoughts, our imagination, our quantum field is creating reality. And so you can either take the responsibility for that reality and become a main character, or you can sink back into the background and let everyone else's programming run the show for you. That's where the choice is yours. That's why you'll see people call us chosen ones on YouTube, because we are the ones that have chosen a higher path, that have chosen to see deeper, that have chosen to believe in these concepts that people dismiss, laugh at, can't even comprehend. They, on a sci-fi movie, it's like, oh yeah, I believe that, but you bring it into reality, and you're like, whoa, that's not real. But oh, it is. I have personally experienced abnormal things due to belief of the quantum field, due to the belief of interdimensional existences. But also, being human is difficult enough that we don't need to worry about all that. Can we focus on being human? Which is, it does involve all those other things. But sometimes just realizing that you're a human. What is human? Human. We hold emotions, energy, and light within our body. And when you look at a person, you see their aura, you see their energy, you see the bone structure, you see the fat, you see the thought patterns, right? A person's body structure comes from their habits and their thought patterns. It does not come from genetics. It does not come from calories in, calories out. It comes from the way they see themselves. So how do you see yourself? And you can call BS on that all you want. I have lost, there were just so many people are so set on their beliefs that I don't know what to say there. Yeah, lost total connection for the belief systems. What really happened there is I just felt like I was on a train of rambling. I'm like, I am on camera. I would like to be more mindful of the ramblings that come out. There's just such this, I have a lot of resentment for people that are very strong on their opinions and don't want to budge, because the very aspect of evolution is being open-minded. And if you're not open-minded to new ideas and new concepts, then you are literally a problem and a kink in the world of evolution. I don't want to be associated with that. And I know that sounds cruel to say, but that is absolutely right. Like, I want to be associated with people that are intentional with the creation, that are intentional with their energy, that are intentional with understanding things the way they are now aren't perfect. So why grasp so hard to keep them the same? It's okay to be open to new mindsets and new ways and let the imagination flow. Because this really is a world of imagination, and whatever you can think of can happen. This place is a lot more wild than you think. And maybe that's because I live in the wild, wild west. So it's a different energy here. It's a different projection. It's a different movie screen. A lot more is allowed to play out here. It's pretty magical. So I feel like I have lost whatever further insight I may have for you today. My face is itchy. And we're going to leave it there. So, recap, homework for the day. Be mindful of what you're falling asleep to. What thoughts are going through your mind right before you fall asleep? Because not only we like to think of it as like, oh, how interrupted will our sleep be, or dreams versus nightmares. But think of it like this. When you disconnect from the 3D realm here, whatever your mind is thinking of as you fall asleep, that is creating the scripts and the plots for the reality that you're creating. So what type of quality of thoughts are you falling asleep with? Well, thank you for joining me. I'm eternally grateful to be able to share whatever messages are coming through. So thank you for witnessing. This is Awaken with Debb. I'm Deborah Kaye. Have a blessed day.